The backyard wrestling world continues to heat up as EWA prepares to launch itself into the year of 2011. Chaos 3 is a heartbeat away, and everyone's getting a word in edgewise. Here's another promo regarding that spectacular event.
You know, with every passing minute of every passing day, we get just a little bit closer to the return of EWA. Punxsutawney Phil didn't see a shadow, so I know we're golden. We're good to go. Spring is here. Spring means chaos. Spring means EWA is back with a vengeance. A Saint Vengeance. And a team of Saint Vengeance's choosing to destroy New Era once and for all. I'm on that team. Joe Hall, Mike Dell. I can't think of two guys I'd rather be in the trenches of this war with than those two EWA originals. They're everything EWA stands for. I was asked to comment on Team New Era, my thoughts on this upcoming Survivor Series match, so I'd like to do so real quick. Just by running down the list of my competitors and giving a few thoughts about them. First of all, let me just say, this match, win or lose, I'm making sure that everyone on Team New Era comes out worse for wear. Because this is personal. Let me go back a little bit to a six-man tag match. Myself and Rollerblade versus three members of the opposing New Era team. Marcus Centofonte, Jay Two-Step, Alex Cross. Three of the biggest pieces of shit I've had the displeasure of running across in my time in backyard wrestling. They attacked me from behind when my guard was down. For no reason. Jay Two-Step has tried to end my career twice with roaring forearms to the back of the skull. One so loud it could be heard. I'm not a fan. Fourth guy. Benjamin Right Back. Not a factor. Not going to be a factor in this match. Calling it right now. I was in a match with him on New Year's. He was a non-factor. He's going to be a non-factor at Chaos. And the fifth man. The surprise. Well, not really a big surprise because it happened at Elite, but Ryan Brody. Ryan Brody, let me tell you something. I have no problem with you. I have no issues with you whatsoever. You did what you thought you had to do. You had a vendetta with Rollerblade, and you screwed him over. And personally, I think it couldn't happen to two nicer guys. I have issues with them myself for leaving me for dead. So, you did what you had to do, and I can't fault you for it whatsoever. You've never hurt me personally, and I still look up to you as a mentor and a friend. So, come Chaos, you stay in your corner, I'll stay in mine. We'll be good. Now, the last person I want to address is Saint Vengeance, the New Era champion. Which personally I think is funny because how could we worry about New Era when their champion is on our side? We can't lose. Saint Vengeance, I've called you multiple times. I've asked you who the fifth man is because I want to discuss some strategies. You haven't gotten back to me. Find a fifth man. If you haven't yet, find him. If you have found him, tell us. Let us know. We're worried. We'll help you if we have to. But please, for the love of God, find a fifth man. The last thing we need going into this match is to go in man down right off the bat. So, work your magic. Do what you gotta do. New Era, man down or not, 4-on-5, I don't care. I'm coming for my revenge. And I will have it.
Now here's something you don't see every day. Better than all, Joe Hall, former EWA champion, has never been one to speak out with his opinions. He's always let his actions speak for him. But with Chaos 3 coming so soon, the stakes so high, Joe Hall actually went out of his way to make a promo regarding the event. Personally, when someone who doesn't talk very often has something to say, I listen very carefully, because it's usually very, very important.
Better than all, Joe Hall here, and I'm here to cut a promo. You know, it seems very rare these days that I cut promos, and that's usually because I do most of my talking in the ring. But every time I log on to Facebook, every time I log on to the GBYWN, or wherever I go, I see everybody's got something to say about EWA. Whether it be jealousy, whether it's something else, I'm not really sure, but I think it is the jealousy. You see, EWA has a core of guys, and we have worked very hard to get where we are today. You got guys like myself, who are EWA originals, guys like Mike Dell, who's also in the match in EWA original, Patrick Wade Wilson, EWA original as well. You've got the veterans, we got a lot of young talent, we got a core roster, and it seems like ever since we got the ring, you know, there's been a lot of jealousy coming from the New Era side of things. Ever since the very first ring show, where I actually had what I'd consider probably the best match in my backyard wrestling career against Mike Dell that night, and I think he feels the same way. And you ruined that moment. You ruined, you know, what I consider to be my best match to date. And New Era they ruined it. They came in, Andrew Wright, he got in the ring. It took him a few times, but he finally got in there. And Danny Devine, they attacked us from behind. And, you know, but that wasn't as much what bothered me as the fact that you took friends away from me. You know, EWA started with 5 guys. And those 5 guys were myself, TJ Blade, Brandon the Bull, Ryan Brody, and Tommy Guns Coburn. And 2 of those guys turned their backs on the company that built them and made them the stars of backyard wrestling they are today. And, you know, some might find that arguable, but in my opinion, we made Ryan Brody, we made Tommy Guns Coburn, and they turned their back on us, and especially Tom. You know, I was, you know, me and Tom had our battles, but we were always friends behind the scenes, and now you turned your back on EWA. Ryan Brody, another guy, EWA original, he was one of the first guys to really get the EWA name out there, and he turned his back on us. Whether it be because they weren't happy with their spots, or they didn't feel, you know, they felt misused, you know, they didn't feel like they were getting what they deserved. And it seems like they turned their back on EWA for that reason. And that's really unfortunate to have happened. But right now, you know, out of the 5 guys that started EWA, 3 of them, myself, TJ Blade, and Brandon the Bull, all have one common bond. And you know what that bond is. So, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and talk for very long because I'd like to do most of my talking in the ring, but I am gonna run a little history lesson, a short history lesson of what I have with everybody on the side of New Era. Recently, Marcus Senafonte had a gauntlet at the BKW, was it? Is that what the show's name was? I don't even know. But he had a gauntlet match, and it was originally, he wrestled the Perfection. He wrestled Patrick Teitzel, and then I came out, and I backfisted him. I pinned his shoulders to the mat, 1, 2, 3. So I have a win over Marcus Senafonte. And, you know, he could say it was a gauntlet match, but I also had another match that night. I had a 6-man tagging with TJ Blade and Patrick Wade Wilson. So I don't want to hear the excuses. Marcus Senafonte, I did pin your shoulders to the mat, 1, 2, 3. And then you have another guy in the match, Ryan Brody, whose shoulders I also pinned to the mat, 1, 2, 3, and won my first ever EWA heavyweight title. I beat him for the heavyweight title, was it a year and a half ago about? He got his rematch, I beat him again. So there's a history there with Ryan Brody. I have no problem pinning his shoulders to the mat once again. Then you've got BRB, Benjamin Right Back. Me and him have had one match before. He did pin me, he did beat me. But that's not really what upset me. What upset me recently was a match I had at the most recent New Era show. It was myself, Daniel Devine, and PJ Matthews in a 3-way. And Benjamin Right Back, he wants to pretend to be Santa Claus. He trips me. I find out it turns out to be BRB. And Danny Devine picked up the win. But if that wasn't enough, BRB would then pick me up, give me a TTYL, and I would have bruised ribs for the next 3 to 4 weeks. I was in pain. And, you know, BRB, if you think that I'm not going to go into that match looking for revenge, then you're wrong. And then you got Alex Cross. I've never wrestled Alex Cross, but he did want to get he did want to get involved in the EWA Elite Finals, and he came in and tried to screw St. Vengeance out of the match. I came in, I had a back fist with his name on it. He was out. And then Jay Two-Step, not much history there. Not much history with Jay Two-Step. I've never wrestled you. I don't even know if I've ever talked to you. But you have given my friends roaring elbows to the back of the head. And I don't like that, so I got a back fist with your name on it. So everybody come, all you New Era guys, come to EWA, come to Chaos. Keep your bags packed. Make sure to keep them packed. Don't get too comfortable, because we're going to send you packing. I guarantee you that at EWA Chaos 3, this is going to be the last time you ever see anyone from New Era in an EWA ring.